Be willing to change. Be willing to change. Always be willing to change. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my hungry athletes worldwide. This is your coach Chaz coming to you live. If you're on the YouTube page, go ahead and like, subscribe this. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and leave a review and subscribe to the podcast, Spotify, wherever you're finding this at. I'm glad that you're here. And I just want you to know that today's podcast, I want you to know, be willing to change. Always be willing to change, because there's things that's going to come your way in life that will force you to pivot. There's going to be things that come in your life that are going to make you just have to grow. And I want to tell you about just a couple stories in my life where I was forced to change, or maybe where I had to just look at a person and look at them and be like, you know what, I can't force them to change, and so I have to change on my own. I gotta do my own thing. And so there's some things that's gonna occur in your life. There are some people that you're gonna meet in your life, and you're not always gonna be able to mesh with them. You're not always gonna be able to work with them in the best way, and you're not gonna always be able to just get, you're not gonna be able to work with them at the moment or right now. And so I remember to an experience where I was trying to, for example, when I was pursuing Omega Psi Phi, when I was at the University of Miami. And at first, I just didn't have the grades. My grades were just lackluster. They were so luke, and I had to get what was a 2.2 up above a 3.0. Basically, I didn't get a 3.0 before that point. I hadn't got a 3.0 since middle school. And this is my story to say that if you need to do something, if you have to set a goal, set that goal. If you got to get above 3.0, set that goal of getting above a 3.0. A 3.0 student does a certain thing. A 3.5 student has a certain process also. And guess what? A 4.0 student has a certain process also. Are you willing to abide by that? Are you willing to do all those assignments? Are you willing to stay that extra time in school so that you can focus on those different things, so that you can get that GPA, so that you can make sure that you can do those clubs, or you can represent in whatever way you want at your school or in your community? You have to set those goals. Those people that are at those ranks, or people that are in certain positions, it's either one, they know somebody, or two, they're qualified. And it's probably a mix of both. A lot of people, they get into jobs because they know somebody and they got a little bit of a qualification, but a lot of things you're gonna learn on the fly. So it's if you want to get there, set those goals so that you're prepared in yourself. You gotta be willing to change. You gotta be willing to do different things. I recently started doing my Duolingo really good, really habitually. I was doing really, really good. But guess what? I got to 19 days. And I messed up. I was chilling all Sunday. I didn't do a thing. Today is the Monday podcast. I'm getting to you guys. We got to be willing to change. You got to be willing to do different things. And I got to 19 days, and that was my greatest streak ever. I want people to know, practicing on Duolingo for 19 days was my longest time ever. And so I want you guys to know that along the way, you're going to take missteps, and you're going to get to those high goals. But also, you're going to fall sometimes. It's okay to fall. It's okay to make those mistakes. And it's okay to make those fallbacks, because it's going to set you up for an even greater pace. It's going to set you up for an even greater success later on. And so if you're ready to get that success now, one step at a time, one day at a time. You can't have 30 days of knowledge, or you can't put however many, 30 times 24, please don't make me do that right now. 30 days times 24 hours. You can't put that amount of knowledge into one day. You can't just squeeze that all into one day. You really can't. And so it's kind of like when people try to force working out. You don't want to work out super, super hard one day and then you're dead for the next 3 or 4 days. That's not how you work out. That's not how you do it. this morning, I went for a run. Went for a run with my boy Wale, and we're keeping a good pace. We're going easy. Our goal was 2.5 miles. We're going super easy for the first mile, and after the first mile, I was like, yeah, I'm picking up a little bit. I was like, all right, cool. And then like when the second mile hit, that was the time where I was like, all right, let me pick up some pace, for that last 0.5, You don't want to always go super hard in all of your workouts. Just like you don't want to practice burnout. This is what I want you to know. You want to be able to change, be willing to change, but don't set yourself up for burnout. Don't bring yourself to a point where you're like, all right, you say you never read before, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna read 30 pages every single day. Yeah, that's possible, but how about you start with reading 5 pages a day? How about you just read a chapter a day? A lot of books, they're of different lengths, and you could pick up the wrong book. Just real talk. You could pick up the wrong book, and it could set you off in the wrong path, and be like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like reading. So set yourself up for those different successes along the way. Be willing to change. You'll get there. Set yourself up for success. Make sure you give yourself positive reinforcements along the way of those goals. And once you do, you're going to be even more excited. Say you get to a certain point on Duolingo or reading, and you set up a status, and you're like, yo, has anybody read this book, or is anybody interested in reading this book? And so that's how you can go about it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to be able to change, to be able to set these new goals, to work with new people. It's life. It really is. And we have to be willing to change in this new world. On an even different note, not even to the hungry athletes, but the crypto athletes, or the crypto hungry athletes, however you guys want to call yourselves. The world's changing, and we have to be willing to go into these new the new crypto coins. You got to get into the currencies. You got to just understand the blockchain a little bit more. If you haven't heard of Web3, just research Web3. Look up what Web3 is. I'm sure we've all heard of Meta. And so these are different things we got to research. We got to put our time into it. We got to put our money into it, honestly, because if you don't put your money into it now, you're not going to, if you're watching this video 10 years from now, 5 years from now, however many years, a platform is growing, a foundation is growing, and you want to be part of that foundation. And so be willing to change with the times. This is Chaz telling you, get into crypto. For real. Be willing to change. If you're not already in crypto and you listen to this podcast, get into some crypto. Get you some Ethereum, get you some Bitcoin, whatever it is. And do your research too. Also do your research. Don't go into these things blindly. Just like with everything else. Do your research, but take action. Take action. Be willing to change. I think that's where I'm going to leave this podcast at, because I hope you guys just understand, there's different steps you'll take every day. There's different fallbacks you'll have, and I'm not perfect myself, but I'm working, and I'm trying to help you guys out. If you guys can help me out, let's work together. Just hit me up and be like, hey, I heard you, I invested into Ethereum, or I heard you and I ended up starting Duolingo, or I ended up reading a new book. So let me know what's going on. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know what your new workouts are. But once again, if you're not already subscribed to the podcast, just go ahead, hit that subscribe button wherever it's at. On Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, YouTube. Stay positive, stay blessed. Peace.